Thanks so much for joining me today. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself and your organization?
Well, I'm Cheryl Gilespie. I'm the supervisor of the Agenda Development Office, which is part of Orange County government. Our office produces the agenda for the Board of County Commissioners, and we're also involved with the advisory boards.
Can you provide an overview of your role at Agenda Development as the supervisor with Orange County government and how it relates to advisory boards?
Sure. The Agenda Development Office is charged with being the staff support to the Membership and Mission Review Board, which is like a nominating committee with purview over 30 of the advisory boards. And so we are the staff support for the MMRB.
Can you explain the significance of advisory boards in Orange County?
Well, advisory boards have been around for many, many, many years, and they really have a lot of input on subjects ranging from affordable housing to zoning. They are incredibly important, and we appreciate the volunteers' input that we receive from the citizens.
How are advisory boards structured within the county government, and what's their role in shaping policy?
Well, they're structured very differently. It depends on when they were created. Some of the boards are what we call at-large positions, which don't require a specific technical capability, but some boards do require certain technical specifics. As far as shaping policy, they review a lot of the ordinances that come before the Board of County Commissioners.
Why should individuals consider volunteering for advisory boards, and what are the ways they can get involved in their county's decision-making process?
Well, they should get involved because it's a way for them to have their say in local government, and that's always important. We very much value our advisory board volunteers. They get involved first by applying. That's the key thing. There is a section of the Orange County website that's devoted to advisory boards. It has information about all of the advisory boards. So a citizen should go there and look through them, decide which ones they're interested in, and then apply online, which is on the same page. The application is good for 2 years, so they'll be considered for any vacancies that come up during that 2-year period.
Can you walk us through that process of applying for an advisory board, and what are the key steps, requirements, and considerations?
Well, there are 3 basic requirements for all advisory board members. They need to be registered voters, they need to be Orange County residents, and they need to be at least 18 years of age. Those are the basics. After that, as I said, it really depends on the board itself that might have specific requirements. We're looking for a plumber right now on one of our advisory boards, urban planners, all types of different specialties. Once they go through and do their application online, it comes to us and we distribute it to the appropriate place. And as I said, their application's good for 2 years, and they'll be considered for anything that comes up during that 2-year period.
And the process for each advisory board is different on how they get chosen, right? Because some go through the MMRB, some go through the Board of County Commissioners.
Yes, the MMRB process is, as I said, sort of like a nominating committee. When there's a vacancy, the liaisons for the MMRB review the applications. Not only are they concerned, they're firstly concerned about qualifications, but they also take into account the racial, ethnic, and gender distribution on the board. As you mentioned, the other boards go through directly appointment by the Board of County Commissioners.
When someone's thinking of joining an advisory board, are there any considerations they should be thinking about? Any key steps or requirements that maybe they should get lined up?
Well, I think the most important thing is to pick a board that you have time for. That's one of our key issues, is making sure that you're able to attend the meetings. So you want to look and make sure that if you're interested in it, that you are able to attend the meetings. As far as any other types of requirements, we don't require any type of follow-up as far as technical requirements. If you list it on your application, that would be fine.
It's very important, like you said, for people to be able to attend. Are there different times of day or days when these meet, and how often do they meet?
Most of the boards meet on a monthly basis, but not all of them. Some meet bi-monthly or quarterly. The boards can meet at any time of the day. Some meet first thing in the morning, some meet over lunch, some meet during the evening. So there is a variety of times.
How does Orange County ensure the diverse and inclusive representation on advisory boards to reflect the needs and perspectives of all residents? I know we touched on that a little bit.
A little bit. When the was created in 1991, that was one of the key components that they're required to match the ethnic, racial, and gender diversity of the county to match that of the advisory board demographics. So the MMRB is very aware of that and strive really hard to make that happen. Because it is important that everyone is included.
But the first step is that people apply.
Exactly.
Can you share some examples of advisory boards making tangible impact on local policies or initiatives here in Orange County?
Well, for instance, recently the BCC passed the Tree Preservation and Removal Ordinance. That ordinance was reviewed by the Environmental Protection Commission, the Agricultural Advisory Board, the Sustainability Advisory Board, and the Development Advisory Board. So there were 4 advisory boards that had input to that ordinance and to that policy.
And good insight, too, for us because you get different perspectives
Yes.
from different people. What are the benefits for individuals who volunteer for advisory boards, both in terms of personal growth and community impact?
Well, anytime that you're able to provide input to your government, it's a good thing. But it also gives some folks an opportunity to move up into leadership roles for like vice chairperson or chairperson, which sometimes leads to careers in politics. But the other benefit is that you're also doing a community service, and it's a way to give back to your community.
How can community members stay informed about advisory board activities and meetings to actively participate in the process?
If you're interested in a particular advisory board, not necessarily to serve on it, but you're interested in their activities, everything is posted on the county calendar section of the Orange County website. It lists their meetings, their agendas, and their minutes.
Are there any common challenges that advisory boards face, and how do they work to overcome these challenges to better serve the community?
I think any advisory board has the challenge of reaching consensus. And sometimes it takes a lot of discussion over several meetings to reach consensus. But I would say that that's one of the primary challenges. By reaching consensus, you're actually pulling all of the opinions together and coming out with the best option.
And attendance is a challenge.
It is. Attendance is a challenge.
Looking ahead, where do you see the future of citizen involvement in advisory boards and local governments in Orange County?
Well, I think that we'll always have advisory boards. We've had them for so long. I also think that the advisory boards will evolve over to meet community needs. 10 years ago, we didn't have a sustainability advisory board, but we do now.
Okay, we're going to do a little quiz to the audience. Let's see how much they know about Orange County advisory boards. And you could tell us what the correct answer is.
Okay.
All right, question 1 is how many advisory boards are currently active in Orange County, Florida? 10, 20, 56, or 40? What's the correct answer?
The correct answer is 56.
That's quite a bit.
It is.
Are there more than that in different types of other committees and boards that we may have in Orange County?
Well, I don't include things like task forces in that number or the Charter Review Commission. Those aren't included. Those are strictly advisory boards.
Question 2. Which of the following is not a common responsibility of advisory boards in Orange County? Advising on local policies. B, reviewing budget proposals. C, organizing community events. And D, recommending improvements to services. What's the correct answer?
It's actually B and C. As far as reviewing budget proposals, that doesn't happen with very many of the advisory boards. It does happen with some of them, but just not very many. And organizing community events, same scenario where it happens with a few of them, but not all of them.
Question 3. How often do advisory boards typically hold public meetings in Orange County? A, monthly. B, quarterly. C, annually. D, biannually. What's the correct answer?
Answer is monthly.
Question 4. What is one way Orange County ensures diverse representation on advisory boards? A, by appointing only government employees. B, through rigorous testing process. C, by actively seeking candidates from various backgrounds. Or D, by selecting members randomly.
Answer is C, by actively seeking applicants with diverse backgrounds.
All right. And last question. What's a fun fact about advisory boards in Orange County? A, they have been in existence for over a century. B, They are responsible for naming local parks. C, each advisory board has a dedicated mascot. D, they hold an annual county-wide talent show. Cheryl, what's the correct answer?
They have the responsibility for naming parks.
Yes, which I had one happen recently.
Yes.
So. All right, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me. I really
And-
appreciate it.
Thank you. And we really need more people to volunteer to be on advisory boards. So if you're interested, make sure you go to the county website and put in your application. If you're enjoying this show, please subscribe to our channel and follow our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter accounts.